If you're thinking about starting a house cleaning business, pause. There are a few things that people don't learn until they're already overwhelmed, in too deep, invested too much, and feel burnt out. I want to give you the honest truth coming from someone who owned a house cleaning company, switched it to a remote cleaning referral business model, and would never go back. So if you're ready, let's get into it. In this video, we're going to cover what the expectations versus the reality of a cleaning business, what burns people out, what you need to be prepared for, an alternative business model that solves these problems, who each business model is for, and if you're exploring the house cleaning industry, this video could save you months or even years of frustration. So let's dive right in. Okay, so the romanticized version of starting a house cleaning business, a lot of people get into it because they think it's going to be a low startup cost. If you're doing it yourself, could that just be some cleaning supplies and equipment that you already have? Using a car that you already own. Or if you were thinking about hiring employees, you're thinking, I don't have a bunch of machinery to buy. This business model is mostly based on labor. Shouldn't it be a low barrier to entry in terms of cost? Also, people think it's easy to find customers. Pretty much every house in a B or A type neighborhood is going to be a qualifying person to want house cleaning services. Then you add in families with children or seniors who aren't able to be as mobile anymore, and you think there's a lot of customers. You might also think it's easy to hire cleaners because it is a low skill job. You don't have to have a college education or any specialized training really to do house cleaning. And you might think it's a simple business model. How hard could it be? You have people wanting one-off cleanings or maybe recurring service. You just set it up as a rotating event on a calendar and you're able to manage it pretty simply, right? Then with those recurring customers, you might think there's going to be predictable cash flow. And you add the fun spikes of seasonality like spring cleaning or holiday cleaning, and the money should be flowing in. The demand is real, but the operational workload is actually a lot heavier than you might expect. So let's go into section number 2, which is the reality check. What traditional cleaning business owners actually deal with. Let's break down the friction points. Point number 1, hiring and training pretty much never ends. You actually have a lot of high turnover in this industry. A lot of the cleaners who are out there and cleaning long term for years and years likely work for themselves. And so if you want to start your own cleaning business and hire employees, many a times you're going to have people who have very low experience or no experience at all. And what you end up doing is investing a couple of weeks into training them, paying them for their time, but then they will realize that the job is actually quite difficult and labor intensive, and you end up having a lot of people quitting. There's also low commitment to the job. When you are an employee, you come on board to a cleaning company, they provide all the supplies, equipment, and you haven't really invested anything. As a matter of fact, the company is investing in you by training you, but that also means that if you were to quit at any point, you're not really losing anything. And so, as the cleaning company, you get ghosted often by people who are new to the business, and you get ghosted even more during the interview process. Then there is managing schedules and time cards. That's a whole logistical nightmare in itself, making sure that none of your employees are stealing time going through a Starbucks drive-through when they're saying they're cleaning at a house and you're having to pay for their time. Number 2 is that you're responsible for quality issues. So say a customer is unsatisfied with the results, they're going to leave a bad review for your business, even though you're not the ones cleaning. Also, you're the one solving all of the client complaints. So they call in and they're expecting to talk to you. And if part of solving the problem is sending a cleaner back out to redo the job, that labor cost is going to be on you still. Number 3 is inventory and equipment. You are buying all of the supplies and equipment that's required for the job. You are responsible for replacing any worn equipment or fixing and repairing any of the broken vacuums. despite not being the one who put the wear and tear on them yourself. You're managing inventory of the cleaning products, the bottles, the rags, the solutions. As things get depleted, you have to order and maintain a certain level in stock. And where are they going to be kept? You have to have storage space to keep all of these. Number 4 is payroll, taxes, and compliance. The payroll taxes and all of the withholdings, having workers' comp insurance, having a human resource department, even if it's you who's in charge of that, dealing with employee drama or conflict, making sure sexual harassment issues are addressed and trainings are addressed, etc. The list goes on and on. And number 5, your time ends up not being your own. When there's a cleaner who cancels, you might feel like, let me just put on my apron and pick up a cleaning rag and go out there and get the job done. If a cleaner is locked out, and they forgot to take one of the customer's keys with them that you store at the office, you might have to drive it out there. If they have a broken vacuum, you might have to drive out and swap the vacuums for them for one that works. The big question is this type of business model what you want for yourself and how you see work playing into your life? Do you want to manage people daily? Are you okay with hands-on operations? Do you enjoy training and hiring? Do you want a business that is tied to your physical location? If the answer is no, you might want to consider other options. I want to introduce to you a different way. It's called a house cleaning referral agency business model. And it's essentially a remote cleaning business. You're like the Uber of house cleaning. So what if you were the middleman and you connect clients who are looking for house cleaning with cleaners who are looking to provide house cleaning services? Much like Uber, the client would come onto your booking platform and submit a request. They will say, I have a house of this size, this number of bedrooms. The calculator will automatically produce a price for them. You will then match their booking request with a cleaner who will then come to their home. You would offer the cleaners these jobs, just like Uber does. They send out to their drivers, hey, this ride is available. Do you want to take it? The driver says, yes, I want it. I'm on my way. So it's like that with the cleaners, except there is a delay. It's not an on demand, like the cleaners aren't going to drive over and clean right now, but the client will be booking for a few days or a couple of weeks in advance. In this business model, you still are in charge of helping them book, schedule, collect payment, etc. You are the app, but it's not your cleaning business, right? It's the individual driver, the individual cleaner who's delivering the service. They are the professionals of their industry, not you. You help put the job onto the schedule. You help close out the sale. You distribute the money to the cleaner. You keep your percentage of the job. Effectively, you don't manage any employees. You're not providing any training. The cleaners who come to work with your agency already have experience. Just like the drivers who come to Uber, Uber doesn't teach you how to drive. You already have a driver's license. You've already had the experience to do the job, and they are simply connecting you with the clients. It's the same thing. And because it is not your cleaning business, you are not buying the supplies or the inventory. You are not responsible to provide the vehicle, the vacuums. You don't deal with any repairs or maintenance or inventory restocking, which means that you do not have to be on site anywhere at any point in time. That means that you can work remotely, whether you want to open this type of business somewhere else where the market is more desirable, or you're opening it in your own market, but you're able to freely travel as often as you want because you don't have to be there. You still get the benefits of a cleaning industry, which is a type of business that can't easily be replaced with AI, a business that has high demand and will continue to have high demand even when technology improves, a business that has consistent cash flow because most of the business revenue is based on recurring jobs like weekly or biweekly customers, and great income without the operational stress. Now, let's talk about why I personally chose the referral agency model. Coming from the traditional house cleaning business model, I actually had a company that I had built up, scaled it to about 20, 25 house cleaners. I had 8 company cars. The overhead cost was just so high. We had an office, a lot of inventory, a whole storage room. I had employees that were on staff for customer service. And to be honest, it wasn't so bad. It was a lot of work. Even all of the pitfalls I still enjoyed. But the biggest hurdles for me was the workers' comp insurance was insane in the state of California. Managing employee dramas between the people who worked there and pairing them into teams and then them not wanting to work with each other, plus cars breaking down, vacuums breaking down, all of those things were a nightmare. But the thing that got under my skin the most was how expensive recruitment and training was when someone did not want to continue to work for you for a long time. Not because I was a bad boss or the company wasn't good to work for. Frankly, in the house cleaning business, unless someone has years of experience, they're going to quickly find out that it is a labor intensive job that they have no intentions of sticking around for. With the cleaning referral agency model, I was able to work remotely. I didn't have turnover expense because we work with cleaners who already have experience. And the only investment that I've made is in a thorough screening and onboarding process where I contact their personal and professional references to ensure that they are qualified to do the job. Also, in the interview, I asked very tangible questions about cleaning to ensure that they are professionals, because if they weren't, they wouldn't be able to answer some of those questions correctly. And in doing that, I reduced the effort that I had to put in order to find quality workers. I didn't want to manage teams of cleaners. So most of the cleaners we work with are independent. And if they are working with a partner, it's their own partner. It's not a placement that I made, which also means I don't have to deal with any drama between workers. I wanted to work from home, but especially I wanted to be able to travel and work from anywhere in the world. I have worked from cruise ships, from Europe, from Asia, while my cleaning referral agency continues to run. But the most important thing was I wanted a business that could eventually become passive or semi-passive. And in this day and age, with technology the way that it is, it's totally doable. So since about 2020, I have a virtual assistant who runs the day to day for me. I connect with her about 30 minutes a week. And it took a few years to get there, but that's all I have to do to maintain the cleaning agency that I have now. So, who is a good fit for the traditional model versus who is a good fit for the referral agency model? For the traditional cleaning business with W-2 employees, this business model is good if you enjoy leading teams, if you enjoy seeing your team members day in and day out, if you like the idea of having kind of a brick and mortar operations where you have supplies and equipment and systems to replenish them, if you want to have more hands-on with the operations of the business, you like uniformity, you want all the cleaners to deliver a very similar result to clients, you want them wearing uniforms and branded company cars. However, if that isn't your cup of tea, then the referral agency model might be for you. And in this case, you want more flexibility. You prefer to be able to work remotely. You might want to travel or open a referral agency in a market that's not where you live. You want lower overhead. You're able to rely on other people's expertise. You don't have a need to train them to do the cleaning exactly the way you want them to do it. You trust that they are the professionals with the experience and you're able to match them with clients based on that. You want semi-passive income and you want simplified systems that can then be passed to someone else to handle. My honest advice before you choose a path, get honest about the lifestyle that you want, because when you think about the business, I'm sure that you can be successful at either one. But which one of them most aligns with the life that you want to live? One thing that both models have in common is that recruitment will remain difficult and an ongoing challenge. Now, training after the fact is a different story. One requires training, the other does not. But recruitment, interviewing processes, having people flake on you or not show up or not fill out the paperwork that you ask them to, that happens pretty often in both business models. And if that is a huge hurdle that you can't get past, then I would scrap this whole idea in general. There's going to be a lot of course creators or YouTubers that tell you, hey, you can make tens of thousands in a matter of weeks. But what I'm trying to have you understand is you could build something right from the ground up and have it become a semi passive business that is a real asset that can be sold or transferred or nurtured by a virtual assistant while you sit back. That requires work at the beginning, no matter how you put it. No matter which one you pick. As for next steps, or if you want to explore more about the referral agency model, just check the description box